Welcome, everybody, to Dinging Corners, a baseball podcast powered by Slabstocks. I'm your host, Nate, and today I want to talk to you about 2020 Bowman Baseball, specifically a Bowman Baseball market recap for this past week. As you know, Bowman Baseball came out on Friday, and we are now just seeing the first sales coming through eBay, first auction sales, and all that. So I'd like to do a little recap. We're going to cover 4 players today: Jason Dominguez, Bobby Witt Jr., Luis Patino, and Robert Puason. Patino is the only pitcher on the list. The other 3 are position players, so we will cover Patino first. Luis Patino is a pitcher for the Padres, and we are only going to cover his base autos today. His base autos are the only ones that I think are important because you'll see that on May 24th, one sold for $100. A little bit before that, May 23rd, one sold on auction for $120. And so we're looking at a guy whose base autos are $100 already. That is the cream of the crop for pitching prospects. You know, Casey Mize isn't at $100. Nate Pearson isn't at $100. So Luis Patino coming out right away at $100 is pretty drastic, pretty much an overpay in my mind. I would have thought he would have come out at maybe 50, 60, and then dropped a little bit from there. I was not expecting him to come out at $100. So Luis Patino, the best pitcher on the list, and also a pretty big overpay in my mind. So I would stay away from him. We'll go with the position players. We're going to go from worst to best, I guess, in my mind. So we're going to start with Robert Puason, the shortstop prospect for the A's, and we're going to cover some of his prices from the first week. And I covered his base auto and then any colored variation that has sold recently. So base, right away out of the gate, $260 on May 26th, May 25th, $255. So right around $260 for a base card. Pretty good price. He was on MLB Pipeline. I believe he was the number 2 ranked international prospect. So right in line with what I'd expect price-wise. Nothing to complain about there. Refractors, $325 on May 26th, and a $400 buy it now on May 25th. Sparkle Auto out of $299. On May 23rd, we had one sell for $300, best offer, and then May 26th, we had one sell for $385, best offer. Sparkles obviously are not as sought after as refractors, even though there are 200 less of them. People just don't care. You'll find this with when we cover greens for Jason Dominguez and atomics, that they're not as sought after as like blues. So there's certain cards that aren't as sought after, and Sparkle is one of them. Going on to purple, out of $250, May 25th, one sold for $405, and May 26th, one sold for $340. And then atomic, out of 100, May 23rd, $715, and May 25th, $735 for Robert Puason there for atomic. And then we had one yellow sell on May 23rd. It sold best offer for $1,001. It was listed as, now I could be saying Robert's name wrong. It's Puason. I say Puason. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. It was listed, this yellow was listed as Puason, Pauson. So when you're looking for his cards, make sure you type in both variations of the name. Only one is correct, but people mistakenly put the A before the U quite a bit. If you go on right now and look up Robert Puason, Pauson, even though his name is on the picture of the card, they still spell it wrong. And if you look it up, you will find that there is a million cards listed with that variation of his name instead of his actual name. So you may be able to find a good deal there. A yellow auto for $1,001 seems like a pretty good deal. It's obviously a new variation compared to what we've had before. So we'll see how hot they are in the coming weeks. But $1,001 when an atomic out of 100 is $735, it's not bad. So those are our first 2 players of the list. We'll cover Bobby Witt Jr. now. His base card is, his base sold for May 26th, sold for $390, and then another one on May 26th sold for $350, best offer. I don't know how I feel about that. Bobby Witt Jr. is really, really good defensively. He is really good speed-wise on the bases. He's got pop in his bat, but that hit tool is just, it's scary. And right out of the gate, almost $400 for a base auto. I don't think I'd pay that. I would go and buy a Marco Luciano. I'd go buy a Julio Rodriguez before I would pay that price for Bobby Witt Jr. Refractor, May 24th, the only one that sold was for $435. Only a little bit more than the base, which is checks out. Again, I wouldn't pay that price. I would go find a Julio Rodriguez. Sparkle, May 25th, $400, buy it now, and then another one on May 25th sold on auction for $460. Not bad. A little bit more than the refractor, which is kind of shocking on May 25th. I would think the refractor would go for more, maybe the same. And then purple, May 25th, sold for $565. And green shimmer, May 24th, sold for $920. Green, May 22nd, sold for $1,300 best offer. And May 20th for $1,800 best offer. We're getting a little far back there with those greens. The early May 20th, May 22nd is too far away now from the 27th with a new product. New product always goes quick. Prices start really high and then go down. 5 days away is too far away to gain anything from these green prices. And then we had a gold sell on May 22nd, and it was at least $4,200. It was one of those one bid, best offer accepted, so I couldn't find the price anywhere. If anybody knows of a tool that can get me the price of that, please let me know. DM me or put it in the comments of the Instagram post that we put up for this podcast and video. But I couldn't find the price on that, but it was at least $4,200. A little bit expensive for my blood for Bobby Witt Jr. I wouldn't pay those prices. If you're looking at a guy, I know I just covered it, but you're looking at a guy who's really good defensively, and he's got a lot of pop in his bat. But there is major concerns about his hit tool, and if he ends up being a guy that hits 250 with 25 home runs at shortstop, that's nice, but is it going to be a $350 base auto? I don't think so. Whereas you have a guy like Julio Rodriguez. No, he doesn't play shortstop. He's a corner outfielder, but he's already shown what he can do, and he's been amazing, and he's cheaper than this right now. So that's where I go with that. Robert Puason makes sense being the second international prospect, and people love their international prospects. Bobby Witt Jr. for $350 to $390 doesn't make sense to me. I would like to take the moment now to, in the middle of the podcast, to just shout out our friends of the show, and that is the podcast Daddy Issues, which is made by Oliver Hudson, the actor, and Joe Buck, the announcer, the World Series, the NFL announcer, playoff football announcer. You all know Joe Buck, you all know Oliver Hudson. And they have a podcast, like I just said, it's called Daddy Issues, and they take a look at their lives, they share personal stories about their lives and their work life and their personal life and how they balance that life. And then also they get interviews in there, and they have some very interesting names. They have Alex Rodriguez. They just did one with Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Lakers, which should be a very interesting one to listen to. They do some with Bill Simmons, who owns The Ringer. So they've got a lot of interesting celebrities, and then they have their own interesting stories to share. So if you haven't listened to Daddy Issues, I advise you to go down to the bottom of this YouTube video and click on the description area, and you will find a link to their podcast that you can click on and listen to it from there. So thank you all for taking a moment to think about listening to Daddy Issues. I hope you all tune in. Joe Buck's a funny guy. Oliver Hudson's a funny guy, so I hope you all enjoy. All right, moving on to the final guy on our list and the biggest portion of our podcast today, and that is Jason Dominguez. You all know Jason Dominguez. You all know why he's so exciting. His friends called him the Martian. The Yankees spent $5.1 million to sign him. He is as hot of a prospect to come out of the international market as there's ever been. He's probably as hot of a prospect to ever join baseball. like Mike Trout was good, but he was from New Jersey, and nobody was really hot on him. That's why he went 24th. And Bryce Harper was super, super hot, and he went number 1. But he went to the Nationals. Well, now you have Jason Dominguez, who is as good as they get from a amateur standpoint, and then he goes to the Yankees, the biggest franchise in all of sports, and now the sky's the limit. If you've been listening to us, I've been saying for the last month, people would say, what do you think Jason Dominguez is going to come out at? And I was thinking, if Wander Franco was like a $500 auto coming out and he's on the Rays, I think Jason Dominguez could be a $1,000 auto. I didn't know if it would happen, but I thought he could be a $1,000 auto. Turns out I was really, really wrong. And not because I shot too high, but because I shot way too low. So the first sale of a Jason Dominguez base auto was on May 17th for $2,100. That same exact card got relisted, and that next sale went for $2,250 on May 22nd. And those were the first sales of a Jason Dominguez base auto. Today, May 27th, one got bought for $1,400 best offer, and on May 26th, one got bought for $1,500 buy it now. So still, they're not the $2,100 or $2,250 offers from a week ago, but $1,500 for a base auto of this kid is way more, way more than I expected, and it's absurd. I'm really excited about him. Everyone's excited about him, but $1,500 for a guy that hasn't even played stateside ball yet, you are putting all of your eggs in one basket. So if you pull one, I would suggest selling it. If you're looking into buying, I would suggest going a different direction. But since we are covering him, let's cover the rest of his prices, and he's had quite a bit of variations, which is exciting for us. Refractor, 2 sold on May 26th, one for $2,320 and one for $2,130. So about $700 more, $800 more than the base auto, which is absurd for a card numbered to $499. We had Sparkle out of $299. May 23rd, one sold for $2,350, and then May 26th, one sold for $2,200 on best offer. And it's interesting, again, you can see from this that around the same price as the refractors was the Sparkles yet again, just showing you that even though it's out of $299, it's not as sought after as the refractor. Purple out of $250, May 25th sold for $2,337, and May 24th sold for $3,152. Purples, sparkles, greens, those colors aren't as sought after as the refractors and the blues, golds, stuff like that. So that's why you're seeing lower prices there. And then blue, we had one blue sell for best on a best offer May 26th for $5,500. $5,500 for a blue, and a green a day before sold for $4,050 best offer. So even though green's out of $99 and blue is out of $150, you're looking at $1,500 more dollars for the blue. Of course, it's only one sale, and that was just what somebody offered. You can't take a ton from it, but just know that there is demand there for all of this. Green Shimmers, May 25th, one sold best offer for $3,550, and May 24th, one sold on auction for $3,450. Green Shimmers, obviously $500-$600 worse than greens, even though they're numbered the same, because people, while they don't love greens or purples as much as they love like blues and refractors, they also don't love green shimmers as much as they love greens. They don't love orange shimmers as much as they love orange, or gold shimmers as much as they love gold, or blue waves as much as they love blue. You get the point. So green shimmer, less than green here. And then atomic, May 23rd, we had $42.50 on best offer, and May 25th, we had $42.75. So pretty significant portion there. But this atomic out of 100, yet again, less than the blue. Will it stay that way? I don't know. This was only one blue. We only have one blue sale, so pay attention to that. And then we had a couple golds. No oranges for any of these, no reds, no supers were sold. But we did have a couple golds. So we had a gold shimmer on May 23rd. That got sold for $10,000, best offer. A gold shimmer for $10,000, best offer. And then a solid gold on May 24th, and that one went for $14,000, best offer. Imagine being the person that bought a $600 box and pulled a $14,000 card out of it. Would probably feel pretty good. But these Jason Dominguez prices, they're pretty insane. I couldn't stomach it. I would rather go buy Wander Franco, Julio Rodriguez, Marco Luciano cards. I would maybe rather go take a gamble and go like Orelvis Martinez, Alexander Canario, guys like that were international prospects that look like they could be good and have at least played somewhat stateside rookie ball. So I would go that route instead of going Jason Dominguez. It's just so rich for my blood. Not saying there can't be, if he's as amazing as they say, $14,000 for a gold, that's going to be a $100,000 card in 10 years. But for right now, that is just too rich for me. If you are looking to get into this product, there's a couple things you should know. Number one, a lot of paper autos. If you're looking at specifically Bobby Witt Jr., he has a ton of paper autos on his sale section and on his section if you look him up on eBay. A ton of paper autos, purple paper autos, blue paper autos. So be careful for that. Don't accidentally think you're getting a good deal on a blue paper auto and getting it for $600 when it's not a $600 card. When the regular blue is not a $600 card, it'd be worth way more than that, a couple thousand, I'd imagine. The blue papers, one sold for like $610. So do not think that you are getting a really good deal. Make sure you know that the blue B in the corner, there's going to be a blue B. Make sure it's that one. Make sure it's not a red B in the corner. And then lastly, if you're looking to get into this product, box prices, I pulled some box prices for you. I don't know what your local hobby shops are. I'm sure the hobby boxes are around $300, maybe $315, somewhere in there. But I pulled box prices online. So Blowout Cards, if you all know Blowout Cards, their hobby boxes go for $320, and their HTA boxes with 3 autos. Hobby has 1 auto, HTA has 3. They're $620. And then Steel City Collectibles, their hobby boxes are for $350, so $30 more than Blowout, and their HTA is $630, which is $10 more than Blowout. Dave and Adams, hobby they had for $330, which is only $10 more than Blowout, and HTA they didn't have any available. And then eBay, I just did a quick search on eBay, and I found hobby boxes for $285 to $290. You could find a number of them, free shipping, so significantly better than Blowout by $30. And HDA, I found a really quick search. I found one listed for $550 free shipping, $540 free shipping, and even $510 free shipping, which is a significant savings, $110 savings. The problem with that is that you know that they won't have been opened and then resealed from Blowout or Steel City or Dave & Adams, but from eBay, you're running the risk of somebody having opened up everything, gotten a terrible deal, resealed everything, and selling it to you. And you just don't know. You just don't know if they're doing that or not. So eBay is like a last resort. Maybe it's worth saving the $110 on a HDA and taking the gamble, but for the most part, I'd probably go to one of these reputable dealers, Blowout, Steel City, or Dave & Adams, and buy a box from them because you know for a fact that they will have not opened it and then resealed it. So thank you for listening to this market recap. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know we only covered 4 guys and only a little bit of Luis Patino. We'll try to cover more guys next week. A week after, sometime in there, and we'll see where the prices go, where they trend. So thank you everyone for listening to this 2020 Bowman Market Recap. Thank you for listening to Dinging Corners today, and I will talk to you again next time.
Hi, I'm Oliver Hudson.
And I'm Joe Buck.
And we are doing a new podcast together. It's called Daddy Issues.
It's 2 guys with daddy issues talking about weekly topics and what's going on in their lives as dads, sons, brothers, as 2, adult males making their way through a coronavirus.
Click on the link in the show description or subscribe in Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.